This clip is brought to you by Piedmontese Beef, the best beef on the planet. Use code POWER for 25% off your entire order. Enjoy the clip and enjoy your meat. I've heard you mention something about soreness for you. Like you were talking about how you I think it was actually you were talking about, I don't know if it was caffeine or if it was
coffee.
It was coffee.
Yeah.
There was a few things that you mentioned, but you mentioned like you could just continue working out and not get sore. What happened? Do you know what happened to you there? Because that was really interesting.
Yeah, it's I think it's multifactorial.
Yeah.
I've noticed it just even when I was in that keto bit, when I was still eating vegetables and a little bit of meat, I just wasn't getting sore, and I was like, this is really weird. And then I have a bit of carbs or whatever would get sore. One reason is that being in ketosis and just having higher levels of ketones actually reduces inflammation. Just having higher ketones does that. But I think there's also, as part of these defense chemicals that plants have as a deterrent, they're going to cause more inflammation, cause more pain and discomfort. So an animal eats that and all of a sudden they're feeling achy and sore and gross. They're like, okay, well, I'm not eating that again. And so I think that's the plant's way of telling you to back off, don't eat me, I'll hurt you if you do. And so I noticed that, and I was able to, well, how I tested it was I did a big leg workout. And I was like, I'm just not sore after this. I was like, I should though, because I just got back from Bangladesh. I hadn't been working out. This was my first big leg day, and I really actually overdid it. I probably did, a bigger leg session than I should have, given that I hadn't worked out in so long, and I just wasn't sore. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't walk out of there just jello leg, just like, like a baby deer, just sort of stumbling out of there. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe I just didn't push myself as much. But I did 12 sets to failure of, and so normally that would be a good workout.
Yeah, sure.
And so I was like, all right, next leg day, a few days later, I was like, well, I'll just do that same 12 sets to failure, and then I'll just do squats, and I'll just keep doing squats until I run out of gas. And I ended up doing those 12 sets. And then I ended up doing another 20 sets of squats. And given enough break, I was giving myself decent rest, like 4 or 5 minutes between sets. I could do the same reps every single set. And I was just listening a book on tape, and I was just sort of just sitting there. And then all of a sudden I realized, I'm like, okay, I've done like 32 sets of stuff. And I was like, all right, well, and I realized I was like, my legs aren't that bad. On my first set of those squats, I did 15 reps to failure. And then the last set I did 13. So it really wasn't much of a down. I mean, I was taking big rests. I was taking a full rest until I was fully rested. But I found that if I did that, I could just keep going. I was like, okay, I can probably keep doing this the rest of the night. But I was like, I've been here for 4 hours and I got shit to do. So I get out of here. And also I was a bit worried because I've way overdone leg days before, just been crippled for weeks. And so I was like, I thought that's might be exactly what was going to happen. And I had a friend of mine, and they called me, and they're like, oh, hey, do you want to go hiking up this mountain tomorrow? It's like it's a big 3-hour hike. It's straight up. It's awful. And I was like, easy. I may have just done something very stupid here. Let's just see how I feel in the morning. I may not be walking for the next month. Woke up the next morning. I was fine. I had no soreness. And I was going up the stairs, and I was just like, didn't feel anything. Took 2 at a time, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I can feel that. My hamstrings are, there's something going on there that I put in some work. I was like, all right, let's go hiking. Felt great on the hike, and I was like, right, time to go to rugby. And so I went to rugby that night. Trained with Seattle Seawolves, who were just their first preseason. Well, no, that was just into the season there in the first inaugural year of Major League Rugby. And it was just I was like, all right, well, let's really push myself, really see how hard I can go. I was just push myself maximally the whole time. Felt great. Hadn't run in months. And the next day still wasn't sore. I was like, this is crazy. And 2 days after that, I still wasn't sore, but my hamstrings were just like, okay, yeah, you should probably let us rest here. You could keep doing this, but eventually you're going to tear something. Yeah. That was sort of the impression I got. And I met a friend of mine for coffee. I was like, all right, well, it's been a few weeks since I've had coffee or anything like that. Let's see what I can do. Can I have coffee on this carnivore sort of thing? What does that do to me? I had 1 cup of black coffee, and within 20 minutes, my back and my hammies and my legs were getting stiff and sore. I was like, oh, what is happening? I could feel it in real time getting worse. Ended up being sore for 2 days after that. And so I was like, right, no coffee. But I found that taking caffeine pills didn't do that. So there was something in the coffee. I mean, there's 150,000 other chemicals in coffee besides the caffeine. And so obviously something else was in there that was causing that. And so that's why I just okay, not doing that.
Yeah. Power Project family, we appreciate you checking out this clip. Check out another one. Just go check out another one. Or comment down below and let us know what you liked about this one. But we love you guys, and we're going to keep bringing you the heat. So comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, okay? Peace.